Garp is one of the most complicated characters in One Piece. Even though he's a member of the Marines, he strives for freedom just as much as any other member of the D-Clan. He uses his freedom and personal sense of justice to pave the way to a brighter future and prevent as much chaos as possible. This is why he's considered to be the hero of the Navy, a symbol for the world to believe in. And yet, his role as a hero prevents him from being truly free. He is forever divided within himself in the pursuit of what he believes is right. My name is Buggy, and I talk about all things One Piece and anime. In this video, I explore the tragedy of Monkey D. Garp and the silver lining within that tragedy. So we first need to begin by outlining just exactly who Garp is. I think unlike Luffy and Dragon, who are both dedicated to one ultimate pursuit that influences all of their other actions and behavior, Garp is split between two major ideals: justice and family. Like Luffy, Garp cares deeply about those he's close to, especially his family, but Garp is equally dedicated to pursuing and fighting for lawful justice. Like Dragon, he carefully considers the bigger picture and how he can make the world a better place. But at the same time, he rejects responsibility. He wasn't initially a Marine because he wanted to be a hero, he was just doing what he wanted to do, and that naturally led to him becoming a larger-than-life figure. So then why join the Marines? Why does he care so much about justice? I believe this is partly due to his fundamental desire for freedom, both for himself and for his family. We don't know exactly why, but we know that Garp values order over chaos, and he believes that through order, the world has a better chance at peace. This in turn would lead to more freedom. The other side of this is that by being within the system, you can attain more freedom than by fighting against it. Garp knows the dangers of being a pirate or an outlaw in general. I don't think he fears the world government, but he's very aware of their oppressive power. And by joining up with the Marines, he places himself in a position where he can pursue his own personal sense of justice, living his life the way that he wants to. And it's for that reason why he desperately wanted his family to follow in the same path. But basically, every major action and behavior that Garp exhibits is motivated by either a desire for justice, family, or both. The problem is that the nature of his affiliation with the Navy and the choices of his family have made it pretty much impossible for him to find any sense of congruence within himself. The tragedy of Garp's life is that despite how much he loves his family, he was never able to truly connect with them. Not only that, but he constantly found himself in a position where he had to fight against them. He wanted those he cared about to join up with the Marines so that they could be as free as possible, but in a way that would keep them safe from harm. But time and time again, they each rejected that system and chose a different path. In doing so, they now work within opposing forces of the world, and Garp is driven further away from his loved ones. We see that he doesn't resent them for it, but he's unable to turn on his belief in justice. Due to the heavy responsibility that comes with his reputation as hero of the Navy, he is unable to fight for or with his family. And ironically, as previously mentioned, this is not a title that he was going out of his way to obtain. He was actively avoiding responsibility. But because of his insane dedication to justice, one of his primary beliefs, it was only a matter of time that he became such a big role model for the younger generation. And because of how much he believes in justice, he's essentially trapped within that position. He represents sincere and righteous justice in an organization that is frequently prone to corruption. He's a symbol for Marines and the world at large to believe in, and if the people can't have faith and order, then chaos will quickly take its place. We know that Garp is very aware of how much the world government and the system that is in place maintains order. In fact, Garp knows more than anyone that there are hundreds of pirates out there like Blackbeard that want to spread anarchy, manipulating, taking advantage of, and harming innocent people in the world. And so it's for that reason why Garp refuses to abandon his own reputation. But this is not an easy thing for him to do. We see the severity of the conflict between his two most fundamental ideals in Marineford. He desperately wants to protect his family, and he comes the closest he ever has to turning on his own beliefs. However, internally, he's at a stalemate. Garp is destined to be tortured by the incompatibility between his personal philosophy and his love for his own family. All of this begs the question, is Garp's choice to commit himself to being the hero of the Navy and upholding his own personal sense of justice the right decision? Is there actually any merit to the Navy as it is now? Or is it something too deeply flawed to have any real meaningful impact on the world? These aren't really questions that I can answer because it depends on your own personal worldview. But from Garp's perspective, he deeply regrets and is pained by what happened to Ace and his conflicts with Dragon and Aokiji and even Luffy to an extent. Why does Garp not waver in the face of what all of his disciples suffer from the same system that he supports? The importance of Garp and his reputation is about what the Navy could be. It's a very utilitarian mindset, but he has faith that eventually true justice, the justice that he embodies, will prevail. It's not about the present, it's about the future. That's why he has placed so much stock into Kobe. He is the one person that understands Garp's point of view. He is the only apprentice that can carry his will. The tragedy of Garp is how much he had to sacrifice before finding Kobe, and that, like Roger, he was too early to fulfill his dream on his own. But the beauty of his story is how his faith and resolve were ultimately rewarded. After Marineford, he learned his lesson, and when Kobe was captured, he made sure to act as soon as possible. His commitment to being a hero and a role model managed to actually inspire not only Kobe, but a slew of younger Marines with an equal amount of ambition. And it is through them that Garp's beliefs are finally being realized. Really quick, I just want to clarify that I'm not defending Garp's compliance with the status quo. There are a lot of people who don't really vibe with Garp's character because of his unwillingness to work against the Marines. I think it's perfectly valid to dislike Garp because of his choices or personal philosophy. But the purpose of this video is to break down the reasoning behind those choices and the origins of that philosophy. So Garp is someone who is driven by the love for his family and the belief in true justice. He is wholly committed to both of these ideals. He devotes his entire being to them. However, the choices of his family have driven them apart. His responsibility, something he gained while trying to avoid it, prevents him from supporting them without consequence. Therefore, his life is destined to be coated with an underlying sadness, as he is unable to remain true to all parts of himself. But his faith in order and justice has not been unfounded. His will is carried on by Kobe, someone who also believes in the potential for the Navy to be a force for good. Through him, Garp may be able to find peace in knowing that the future is in the right hands. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to let me know with a like or a comment. I've got more content on the way, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.